Hewitt,
Here.
Brackness, Rack,
Carmen, he just got in.
okay. Hewitt,
Here. Hewitt's here.
Nichols, Rack, Sam
Carmen, he
Nichols,
just got in. He just
Okay.
got in.
okay. Hewitt,
Here. Hewitt's here. Hewitt's here again.
Rack, Donovan,
He just
Here.
got in. He just got in.
okay. Hewitt,
Hewitt's here. Hewitt's here again. Hewitt's here for the fifth time.
Donovan,
He just
Here.
got in. Just got in.
Here.
Hewitt's here.
what is going on?
Hewitt's here for the fifth.
Okay. I got Donovan, Bryant,
Here.
Stupar is not here. Bushy,
Here.
Elliott, Mark Elliott, Sainty, Ricky Sainty.
Here.
Okay, gotcha. Zubik,
Here.
Morris, Tim Morris, Dave Swenson, Hadfield,
Here.
Blackner,
Here.
DeMio, Bruce Johnson, Dave Stegan, George Swentek, Dennis Green, Bob Halverson, John Perry. I will take attendance for the non-voting members off of your pictures. Can I just go back and see, is Pete Hill here? Did he get in?
He told me he was gonna try with his phone if he could. He's way up north.
Okay. Did Gretchen get on? Gretchen Holtman? Pigman, did you get in there when all that chaos was going on in my background?
Carmen, I don't have Mike or Gretchen listed.
Okay, how about, and Stupar's not, and Elliot?
I'm not showing Mark Elliott.
Okay. So I believe that gives us 18 members, voting members. 18 voting members. Or 18 present. And we have one.
Okay, thank you. You'll figure out what we got for voting then,
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
I don't think we're gonna need the 2/3 today. Carmen distributed the minutes from the previous meeting last night electronically. I hope everybody's had a chance to review them and go through them. I'll entertain that, a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting.
I move, this is Brad Hewitt. I move that we approve.
Brad has moved to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second that. Chris Bryant, D11.
Chris Bryant has seconded that. Does anybody have any corrections, changes to those minutes that you have seen, or? Is there any objection to approving the minutes? No objection, the minutes are approved. Is there any motion or any agenda changes from the printed agenda that was distributed electronically? Any changes? Hearing no changes, we will move forward with the agenda as printed. I will call on our treasurer for a treasurer's report, please.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning. The report is submitted to Carmen and reviewed yesterday in our committee meetings would be what I would submit. No changes in to that report. Would you like me to highlight anything, Steve, or ask for
You just
disapproval?
want to highlight the anything that stands out, I suppose, I don't know, P&L just
Sure,
a little bit.
Sure, 1 second. Financial statement of financial position. Total cash in bank account $3,016,097. Total assets $3.3 million. Everything in myself and Steve Kapinski's opinions looks very good, presented fairly. No concerns on that. The statement of financial activity. Total revenue through May 31st is $5,529,859. Showing total expenses, roll down to that. $4,397,000, 137. Net operating revenue 1.1 million, $1,132,000. There are some 10 and 15% of the HP stuff left to go as far as expenses getting the system, but it's another strong year. That would be my
Also,
report.
for the balance of the year ending in September, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, any questions for our treasurer? And his report will stand. For my report, I'd like to thank everybody for giving up a Sunday morning. I think it's a beautiful Sunday morning in Minnesota when we have very few of them sometimes. Thank everybody for that. For all the fathers on the phone, on the line today, happy Father's Day. And without the mothers, it wouldn't be happy Father's Day, so I thank them too. I want to thank the Finance Committee for all the work on the budget and going through all the numbers and chasing them down and putting together the budget for that we're going to hopefully look at and approve here in a little while. Thank the Rules Committee for all their work that they continue to do and keeping us online and on track. That's greatly appreciated. I want to just to announce that Keith Severson has stepped down from the membership committee, so we will be looking to replace Keith Severson on the membership committee. He just tendered his resignation yesterday to me. I want to welcome Danny and Brooke to our staff. I look forward to working with them and looking forward to the great things that they're going to bring to the table for Minnesota hockey. I think it's going to be a great opportunity for Minnesota hockey to expand and grow and be even better. It's been a great year for USA Hockey with the 3 gold medals. That presents us with some great opportunities at Minnesota Hockey to continue to grow the game. We have many Olympic members from the teams who are here from Minnesota. We need to emphasize this and promote community-based hockey that made them the hockey players they are that participated in USA Hockey's Olympic drive. Going forward, we need to speak to the position that we are and how good we are and what we are, but then at the same time, we never have to stop looking for change and how we could be better, how we can make things better here in Minnesota. That was one of the talks yesterday at the meetings was, how can we make things better? We shouldn't be afraid to change. We need to look at things and look at what we are, and we need to determine exactly what our forward motion shall be. So I look forward to another great year. I look forward to working with everybody here on this call and everybody throughout Minnesota. I thank you for everything that you all do. Without, the volunteers in Minnesota, we wouldn't be who we are at all. That is my report. We will move on to the executive director's report.
Thanks, Steve. My written report is in the submitted as a documents. That's pretty self-explanable in there on what's going on I'm excited about the team that we've built up here in the office. And look forward to building that. There'll be some learning processes along the way when it comes to making sure that people aren't overloaded and moving stuff around as we grow and learn together. But we're really excited about that. And the one thing that this group should be extremely proud of is the work that you all do, and we are all Minnesota hockey, and we carry a strong brand in the community, and I'm really excited about the conversations on moving forward and doing some new things that are coming up in the meetings yesterday, and just being open to those ideas. Otherwise, my report stands as submitted.
Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you much. The committee reports, the Administrative Management Committee has nothing to report. As everybody's aware, we've added 2 staff members to fill the positions that were open here. So that's good. We're fully on board with our staff, and they're moving forward, and that's great. Adults, Jerry Ann,
Hi, I'm here.
about women.
Uh, so I just wanted to report that I really just want to thank Akua. WAM has a 5-week learn to play hockey program going on, 89 registered, but 66 of them are from Akua doing direct marketing signed up. So hopefully getting 3 to 4 new teams of players joining WAM, which is great. So thanks, Akua.
Thank you, Jerry Ann. Diversified hockey. Nick.
Good morning, everybody. Just kind of a little summary. We had a really good, successful season across all the disciplines. A lot of growth. Kind of cool to see some of the numbers. Minnesota, if you look at percentage-wise across the country in the disabled section, including players, volunteers, and coaches as a total percentage, we are 1/3 of the country. So it's really cool to see those numbers. I know our Minnesota numbers in typical hockey is high too, but that's really cool to see. And promoting competition at all levels. Obviously, we have some that made it to the ultimate level in the Paralympics and brought home the gold, so that was amazing. Our Minnesota Warriors had an amazing year. They kind of wrapped it up at nationals, having the tier 2 team in St. Cloud take the championship. Had a lot of teams come in for the Hendrickson Festival, which is amazing. Sled hockey continues to grow and thrive and develop, and have created some outreach initiatives that will bring forth a lot of growth over the next few years and expansion into our um, districts and associations. We had some amazing events to conclude the year, with Hendrickson Festival, with our blind hockey bringing in players from all over the country, sled hockey also bringing in. This is also the 20th year, coming up into the 20th year celebration for special hockey and sled hockey. So that'll be something to celebrate over this next year. Our deaf hockey program just concluded their season. They went to the Stan Mikita Hockey School for the Deaf down in Chicago. And so they just got home. Um, we're just going to continue to grow and expand and look at the future. We added our diversified hockey coach in chief this year, or at least filled the position. And his main goal was to kind of learn the system. And between him and Mike Orn, Andy Shriver, they had a disabled section module and level up clinic at our Hendrickson Festival. So we were able to level up and do level 1 in disabled module for a lot of incoming coaches. I think they had 15 or 18. So that was a cool collaboration, and we'll continue with that. Um, I presented our SWOT analysis at USA Hockey meetings in Denver. Looking forward to sharing that with the disciplines, and just keep moving forward on growing to be independent, but also as a whole. All of our disciplines, hopefully by the end of the summer, will all be on their own 501c3s and independent of Minnesota Hockey financially. So we've worked really hard. So I want to thank Steve Gopinski as well on that. And we've been working on that process to kind of move forward. So appreciate everything. I made it through a tough year and I'm still here.
Yes. Thank you, Nick. Thank you very much. And back to the Hendrickson Foundation Festival. That's a wonderful thing. I got to spend a couple days down there. If anybody has a chance to be around, that'd be awesome. And stop in and watch that next year. It's a great event and it's a lot of good hockey out there playing. So it's really good. District directors. I will go with Mr. Steenerson first from a report from the committee.
Thanks, Oli. So as we said yesterday, right, a lot of opportunities in which we're discussing anyways and throwing ideas around as to how we can make Minnesota hockey, better for our participants anyways. And some of those things are, may need to be changed, or like you had alluded to earlier, right? Sometimes change isn't a bad thing, but it's really finding the right change for everyone, right? So it's not just a one size fits all. Just because it may fit well in my district doesn't mean it fits in the outstate district. So I'm really trying to find that balance. I think there are some other opportunities for us that we'll be discussing at our next couple of meetings that we have probably, as far as the season goes, with regard to, bettering, improving some of our high performance programs as we discussed yesterday. I think also too, just how our waivers work, because I know Colleen has some issues with waivers and still how everyone is handling the waivers. So we continue to discuss those. But overall, I think everyone's excited for the upcoming season. And, other than that, everything is going well.
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And we'll go into the individual districts. Number one first, Paul Egwell.
Thank you very much. Just wanted to say a quick welcome to the new folks in the office. I know that they're going to be incorporated really well with Jeremy and Steve, making sure that I have huge trust in that. We've always in District 1 had incredible support from the office, and that's been especially true with this new team here with Jeremy and Steve, and always with the KUA. So we always really appreciate that. Thank you. District 1, we had, I think we've alluded to this a couple of times, we had a few Mongolian hockey players, youth hockey players come over, a couple of 14-year-olds, 13-year-olds and 15-year-olds, excuse me. We had a really great time. District 1 helped to host them, especially our association, the Dynamites. And Jeremy set up a practice with Bob Sherry with them at Tria. That was a huge hit. So Jeremy, thanks for that. They had a cultural event. Jeremy said some really kind words there. I think that's a relationship that we're going to continue to kind of explore and see where that goes. But we had a great time with those kids. And the last thing I wanted to mention was our supervisor of officials, Paul Marshall, had a very deep personal loss recently, and our thoughts are with him. So thank you.
Thanks, Paul. I see Gretchen is on the line now for District 2, so I'll just ask Carmen to adjust her roll call to that. And Gretchen, number 2.
Thank you. Sorry I was late. I apologize. So with District 2, we are excited to go ahead and produce with the next season. We are I'm currently trying to make some changes in the sense of the affiliation agreements. So I've put those online for my associations, and it's been a good success rate of getting those in on time. Along with that, Dave Hirsch was reelected as president, so himself and I will be going to every association to reintroduce ourselves to the association and really streamline the communication over here. I'm excited to take what we have decided here at our meeting, and I'm going to make some one-pagers for my reps to go ahead and get direct communication from Minnesota Hockey to them, and that's consistent, that they can put out to their membership. With that, just looking forward to seeing the numbers and getting started with the 26-27 season.
So Gretchen, thank you.
Steve?
Number 3, Paul.
Yeah, thanks. So D3 hosted the president's meeting a couple weeks back, and it was a big success. Of course, we have some new presidents within our associations, actually a number of new presidents. So it'll be fun to work with them and get some new ideas and see how that goes. So we're looking forward to that. Some of the other opportunities that we're looking at is how our associations within District 3 can go ahead and help improve our Super Series and make it a better tournament and maybe even grow the tournament. We're anticipating that we will have additional districts join us this season for the Super Series. And with that in mind, we may have to expand it to additional teams. And so we're working through that, especially with the state high school hockey tournament being pushed back a week. We're trying to determine the impacts of our Super Series tournament as it relates to spring breaks for schools and whether or not teams will be willing to participate still with the later schedule anyway. So we're working through that. Some of the things we're working through too is that our associations, as Gretchen said with hers, affiliate agreements. I know that Hopkins is working diligently on their affiliate agreement to ensure that those players who are participating in Minnetonka or Eden Prairie but reside in Hopkins, ensuring that they are playing in the appropriate association. So trying to work through that. And that's pretty much it. So I think we're looking forward to a lot of associations have their enrollment open already for registration. So they're taking those, and with that, of course, comes waivers. So I know that, Nate, I apologize, but you're probably getting some waiver appeals already. And so my apologies to you on that. Other than that, that's it.
Thank you, Paul.
Thanks.
I do not believe our District 4 director is with us. I don't know, I don't believe our District 5 director is with us either. So I will go to Brad at District 6.
Thanks, Ollie. We have our president's meeting this Tuesday coming up. So that will all be good to start that off for a year. As Paul alluded, we're going through our membership with Eden Prairie, Minnetonka with this Hopkins, because there's definitely a difference of opinion. So we'll vet that and work that out too.
Thank you, Brad. Thank you very much. We'll go to District 8. Rack.
Okay, got unmuted. Basically, District 8, we had our first tryouts yesterday for the fall Tier 1 program. Our numbers are down on the 13s and 14s, but up on the 15s. So totally, we've got 161 players that are trying out for our three levels. Our girls' numbers for the 14s and 13s are up. So we're kind of happy that our numbers are staying fairly consistent for our Tier 1 program. Other than that, waivers are coming in. We're getting our unofficial team counts coming in from our associations and looking for about the same number of teams. So pretty much we're getting going, and I know I've already had one waiver appeal that we had a hearing on already this year. So other than that, the only other thing was I did get an email from a District 6 president saying that he heard that District 8 was breaking up. So just to let everybody know that we have no talk about District 8 breaking up or associations wanting to leave. I don't know where that information came to that District 6 president, but we are not breaking up. So just to let everybody know that we're still an entity in total for the 25 or 26, 27 season. So other than that, that's it.
Yeah, we'll keep you, Rick.
Steve married. That sounds okay. Okay, now District 9. I see we have another individual here. If Mark, would you like to take care of this or?
Yeah, I sure can. District 9, Mark Blaisdell here. I am no longer the district director. Replacing me will be Sam. Sam is on here, correct?
Yes, I'm here, Mark.
Sam Nichols. Sam Nichols was our hockey director for us for 3-4 years, and is taking over. Sam hails from Mankato, and I expect him to be a great director. Sam.
Thank you, Mark, and thanks everybody for the warm welcome. Been in Mankato for about 14 years. We had our we call it our spring meeting and announced the change from Mark to myself. Nothing really earth shattering from that meeting or that announcement. We've got our tier 1 tryouts going on this month, and that's what I've got for now.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you and welcome. Thanks for stepping up. It's great. Big shoes to fill, but it's doable. Thank you.
Very doable.
We'll move on to District 10, Colleen.
I've got a few new presidents. I have some associations that are having a hard time filling important positions. I've had 2 hearings so far this year. My tier 1 numbers, my girls were unbelievable. My youth is way down. We've been hosting our presidents' meetings. I've got, which I'm excited about because I always hound them that District 10 should be putting out more high teams than we do, that the lower teams' numbers are always higher, is Centennial is looking at keeping their mites strictly in-house for development and maybe giving them 1 jamboree towards the end of the season. And Elk River is looking at following East Grand Forks' procedure that they use on their squirts. That's about it.
That'd be awesome. Oh, I think that's been very successful at East Grand Forks. District 11, Chris.
Fairly quiet in the district so far. I did have a waiver come through that we had to deal with here not too long ago. So as usual, we'll probably be expecting an influx of those. Hopefully that'll start to simmer down a little bit as this new rule grabs on. Got another district meeting coming up on July 8th. We've been kind of starting to gather some of our teams. And in our past meeting, we did distribute our region tournament, and I forgot to mention this yesterday that I'm going to have to look and see if somebody else wants to host at 15 UB State. I could not find a host for that one, so hopefully we can get another district that wants to pick that up. Other than that, that's all we got cooking at the moment.
Okay, thank you, Chris. District 15, Mr. Bushy.
Yes, sir. We had our May meeting and we had elections. I've kept all my officers. I was elected again for 3 years. I want to thank Carmen for stepping up again and being my right-hand person in my district. She does a lot for me. She'll be our president again. I'm happy to report that Breckenridge is building a new arena. So I'm happy that we took them on into our district. They're very excited. They co-op with Wapaton. And we've awarded all our district regional tournaments to all the sites. So that's all good. And that's about it. Life is good.
Life is good at the lake, Dennis?
Yeah, I'm actually hosting a bachelor party for a bunch of young hockey players. I don't know what the hell I'm doing it for, but they're all like 25 years old. But I had to host those guys from Friday until hopefully they're all leaving this morning. So
Hey, Denny, did I hear you're a groomsman in that wedding?
yeah. I'm a groomsman. 78 years old, and you guys are all 25. What the hell? But
You're still young at
78
heart,
years
Dennis.
young, you mean, Bushy? 78 years
Young,
young.
young at heart. Okay, thanks, Dennis. District 16, I don't think Mark has joined us. So we will move on. That should conclude the district directors' reports. Moving into diversity, Akua, do you have a report for us or anybody with diversity?
Yeah, I have some small updates. I am working with a contact with the state. He teaches Native American language revitalization, but his son and he also play hockey. So he has approached Shakopee Sioux Medwakaton, interested in doing some learn to skates with that community. We're hoping to meet with them soon. They have an office near our office, so we are working on scheduling that. Along with that, the Wild are working on some possible Hmong Learn to Skates in the future. So I'm sure we will collaborate with them on that and helping those players, if they're interested, find a place to play.
So thanks for the hard work there, Kakula. Thank you. Executive committee, I don't think there's much to report. I know we have signed a contract that we will have our September 2027 meeting at Rutgers Sugar Brook in Grand Rapids here. I think Jeremy's working on the 2028 meeting. We haven't had any other issues at the executive committee that need to be looked at from the board. Jeremy, you still looking for a location for that 2028, I believe?
Steve's working on that. He's sent some RFPs out and he's getting them back in.
Okay. Steve's working on that, sorry. So if anybody has any other ideas that they'd like to see us meet in a location in the state, that would be good to get them to Steve then.
How about
That's it for
Vegas?
exec. Or Vegas, yeah, that'd be okay too. Finance and budget, we will turn it back to our illustrious treasurer, Mr. Blaisdell.
Thank you. Want to real quick here just thank the committee for their time and help. It's greatly appreciated as we go through comparisons year to year on our financial statements and looking for potential errors. We had a great meeting last Wednesday. Thank you for that. Also, thank those that helped us with the budget, Mac, Akua, especially in their reviewing of their potential budget numbers. Also, I think Mr. Kopinski, Steve has been a great help. I think the office, the change there in that position, I truly believe is warranted and is doing great work for us. Steve, do you want to add anything to your report from yesterday? Or just let it stand?
Just let it stand. And you're
Okay.
too kind.
I guess going forward, ongoing efforts as we try to clean up the general ledger. Sorry to use the word clean up. It works the way it is. Great. I think we've just find that we would like to reduce the sheer number of general ledger, the transactions, on the $7 million budget, the transaction count are immense. So it's very, I guess, easy for us to code things incorrectly and such. So we're working to clean up on that. Other than that, I guess we're voting on the budget today as presented yesterday, and appreciate the support. Thank you.
So the committee, if I understand it correctly, Mark, the committee will be placing on the floor for consideration at this point in time the budget for the 2026-27 season, correct?
Yes. Yeah, we can vote on that right now. That'd be great.
That comes out of the committee. So that'll be placed on the floor. We discussed it yesterday in the meetings. Is there any other further discussion here today on the budget for the 2026-27 season as presented by the Finance Committee? Hearing none, I will ask for a simple, if there's anybody that objects to the budget, please say aye or please speak up. Hearing no objection to passing the budget has been passed for the 26 or 27, 28, 26, 27 season. I'll get it. 26, 27 season.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else further from the
Yeah.
finance? That's good.
One thing, I don't know that we need, it's not necessarily a bylaw change or to that effect, but maybe it'd be worth memorializing the approval of the process of changing our fiscal year, that the board understands that we're going to change our months on that.
Yeah, I think that the board should, is informed that we're in the process of changing our fiscal year to end on, what is it, June 30th?
June 30th, yeah, June 30th, yeah. So July 1 through June 30th each year,
Yeah.
as opposed to the September and August.
Yeah. We're gonna start that process. So we'll have to do a bylaw change, which I will charge the rules committee for putting together a bylaw change to institute that. And we can vote on that at the September meeting. Sounds good?
Perfect.
All right, perfect. Any other items from the finance committee? Very
No.
good. We will, whoop,
No, I'm good. Thank you.
okay.
I have a question,
Then
Ms.
we'll-
Blaine. When you change the, which I agree with it, changing, the fiscal year ending because we've got programs that run into two fiscal years where you always got to try and separate the funds. So we kind of end it with the HP ending and then when it starts, I mean, we've got registration open. Will that registration for tier 1, will that convert into the new year or will that stay into the old fiscal year
Are you talking the initial year or just going forward?
going forward?
Going forward, it should capture, by and large, it'll all, I'm not going to say completely 100% because that would be wrong, but the vast majority of that will be captured in the current fiscal years that we have. There may be some early registrations, but we can adjust that too, maybe at some point to open up the registrations to fit within those calendar years too. But by and large, Colleen, it's the vast majority of it's always going to be in the current year.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
That's the plan, to try to clean that possibility up.
Right.
Yeah, Colleen, we'll have
Okay,
to
any
work
other
on the
questions
timing.
for the finance and budget? Jeremy?
Yeah, I just said we'll have to work on the timing of those trials because there'll be a little bit coming in before July, but it won't be like it is now.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. So, moving on, Girls League Regional Coordinators, I'm gonna have to turn it over to Nate. I don't think your counterpart is here. So Nate, do you have anything for us?
I think Nate's on an airplane.
Yeah, I don't
Can't hear
no,
that.
not yet. Nothing really. Danny reached out about some changes to the website and getting some information on there. So I have that as kind of a to-do. I need to get back to her some other stuff about what we all want to have on there. I've talked to Cheryl a little bit. I was down at the camp last Sunday, and so we just connected that we're going to have to work together this fall and are coordinating some different things. But other than that, things are good.
Thanks, Nate. Thank you very much. We will move to Mike Mannon, the new chair of the Appeals Committee. Unfortunately, on my agenda, it was still listed as grievance, so that's why it's kind of out of order. But Mike Mannon, do you have
I have
anything?
corrected that for future agendas. I apologize.
Yeah, that's no problem. I just, I saw that today, or I was informed of it anyway. So Mike Mannon.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. New experience for me. Thankfully, I have a great experienced committee and good tutelage from Mr. Gopinski. We have closed out one appeal already this year that stemmed from an incident at the Junior Gold State Tournament. That was finalized last week, and that's all that we had on the docket.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, and thank you for stepping up as to be chairman of that committee. It's not an easy job. I've done it myself. And I thank the committee for all their work and diligence on that. We will move to the handbook. Carmen, do you have anything from the handbook side?
I just want to thank Jeremy for all the work he's doing on it right now. He's really taken the lead on it. So thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah, it's great. And I would like, and I would implore, and I would ask, and I would demand from everybody on this call, because there's new directors, I've heard of new presidents, I've heard of changes in leadership and within the districts, to please get that information in, make sure that everything is current for your district, make sure everything is current for your committee, everything's current for anything that you have, that you touch that's part of Minnesota hockey, to make sure that our handbook is up to date. Jeremy?
Yeah, we've kind of been working on, as the meetings go on, updating it and working at making sure we have the correct information in there. But thanks for that shout. It's only as good as the information that we get in when changes take place. For that, our goal is to have this out and ready, and the printed copies in everybody's hands at the September meeting. We don't want to be in a spot to be mailing them out. And there's already Brooks already got a cover and stuff done for it, so we're working on finalizing the calendar in there. So any information that you have that you can send in, we're trying to update that as soon as we get it.
That should be sent to you, Jeremy, or who should we copy on that?
Yeah, you can send it into me, Nate. It's real easy when something comes in, just pop it open and make the changes right away.
Yes, thank you. And like I said, I implore everybody to look at the handbook, go through the handbook, review the handbook. If you see something that you think is not right, make a note of it, send it to Jeremy so we can review it to make sure that the language is correct in the handbook according to what we've got on record. Appreciate that. Moving on, high school boys, Mr. Santee. Have you come down from the state tournament yet, or are you still flying high?
Are you saying that just because of Grand Rapids, or I'll just leave it
You
alone?
wouldn't think of it. I wouldn't think of it.
Nope.
I thought he was gonna ask how many hockey players they had on that baseball team.
Only one. There was a couple, but that played junior gold U16, but from our state tournament team was only one. But that's okay.
Right.
Love it. Either way for us, we were supposed to have our April meeting. We did not. So we pushed ours off to July 5th. So that's our next meeting. So I don't have much to report besides thanks for letting us be on here. Thanks for letting us be a part of it. Happy Father's Day to everybody.
Thank you, Ricky. Thank you much. I don't believe our high school girls representative is on the call. So we will move to hockey operations. Joe Strepka, you're up.
Morning, everybody. Main takeaways we've been working on is Minnesota Hockey programming response to the USA Hockey's Development League, or the DL as it's known. Committee's been working hard for drafting a proposal for that program that would come out at the September meeting for discussion, and then in line with the DL announcement on October 15th. But this program won't take effect until the 27-28 season. But by and large, trying to keep things completed for our programming as a preseason leading up to the high school program, depending on when that rolls out in November. But otherwise, a lot of our team has been going to conferences. I went to the NARS conference in Milwaukee for the week, going to the hockey director and youth hockey leadership program presented by USA Hockey. Some good takeaways to help with our ALEC and hockey directors conference next year. And then Jeremy and the team went out to Colorado for USA Hockey's conference, and some takeaways there with the ADM and USA Hockey programming that's rolling out. But overall, good things. More is in the written report, and turn it back over to you, Steve.
Thank you much, Joe. Any questions for hockey ops?
I have one. This is Colleen.
Yeah.
Does on this DL, in the future, is USA Hockey looking at doing it with the girls too?
That's a great question, Colleen. I think they're still trying to build the ship on the boys' side. How well that gets done is kind of what my understanding is how it would dictate out to the girls before transitioning both boys and girls. But there's so much unknown just on the boys' side. I don't think they'll touch the girls until they've got some more ironed out.
On the are they going to consider the DL strictly boys, or are they going to call it youth?
As of right now, the DL is boys, but I would see someday in the future. I don't know that for gospel, but feel free to chime in, Jeremy.
Colleen,
Yeah.
Colleen, as of right now, there's no conversation on the girls' side sitting in the player development committee meetings at USA Hockey. And it's, it's only affecting this change is only on the youth side.
I'm just curious because I have a gal trying out for my 13 tier 1. And I know she's watching her.
I think
she'll make it.
The biggest problem there, Colleen, is they got to get the ship built, and they're still working on making sure that ship is going to float on the youth side before they even can consider doing anything on the girls' side. So if we're going to look, I think USA Hockey, if they're going to look at that, that's going to be 4 or 5 years down the road before they even can consider that, given the unknowns that are going on right now with the DL. I mean, there's a lot of unknowns right now.
Okay, well, I was just
Yeah,
curious
so-
if they were calling it youth, are they going to allow girls to try out for our teams too, or no? That's what I was curious about.
Yes. Colleen, you're asking questions that aren't even set in the backbone of it yet. So you're having some forethought. Thank you.
I always
Thank
do
you.
that.
I know.
You know you do. Okay, moving on, junior gold. I know that Greg Gibson submitted a report that's in the written documents on the Dropbox. I'm just gonna ask if the people that are involved with the junior gold girls side, the girls junior gold, have some conversation about that and how things are going with the girls junior gold.
Well, we're hoping to have this clean. We're hoping to have get the 6 teams back. We're gonna put the advertising on the Minnesota Hockey website again, update that, and what we update there, I am going to send out to all you district directors asking you to put it on your website too, because there's certain districts you may have a player or two that your district's never done a 19U, and there isn't enough there to do one, which gives these girls the option if they want to come down and get on a team. Because we did have a couple girls from Moorhead, Denny, that came and has played the last 2 years. So they're out there. We just got to keep looking for them no matter where they're at.
Yeah, we just got to make sure that we're promoting the opportunity throughout the state. It's not just a metro thing. We have junior gold youth all over the state, and there's a possibility that we could have that for the girls also. So we can't discount that. There's got to be girls all over the state that are looking to play hockey too. So we
And
want
all
to
the
make sure we
girls last
provide
year,
that.
we renamed the league. We didn't call it 19U. We called it junior gold, girls junior gold. And and Cheryl's daughter made up our logo, and all the girls loved it.
Perfect. Okay, it was an awesome thing. Commend you and the group that you're involved with there for growing that to 6 teams. That was nice to be able to report back to USA Hockey that we now had 6 teams of girls 19U. So, Miami, Mr. Rack, you have anything for us?
Yeah, last month we had our spring workshop in Rogers. We had 139 attendees plus 30 vendors that were there for the one-day event. We're gearing up and getting ready for our fall conference, which will be Labor Day week again up at Sugar Lake Lodge in Grand Rapids. Other than that, that's about it from Miami side of it.
Thanks, Rack. Thank you very much. It's always nice to have that partnership with Miami. We all depend on each other. Move on to marketing and communications. Anything from marketing and communications, from the office, from Scott, from anybody?
Nothing from Scott.
No, Ollie, it's just working on the website and getting that up and getting connected with our partners and getting connected with our partners as we work to move forward here.
Great.
Hey, may I ask a question? This is
Sure.
Paul. Jeremy, how are the sponsorships going?
It's in the report.
Okay, I'll just read through that then. Thank you.
I believe they're going pretty well.
You know, one of the things, Paul, with HubSpot is we're able to track that stuff real good and gives us what we have going on each month. And so, yeah, we're working towards that, working with it every day, and there's even more of that going on right now.
You're walking very gingerly.
Perfect. Thank you. Nakua, I'll ask you, if you have anything from the Membership Development Committee to report to the board?
My report stands as submitted. I'd like to thank Keith for his leadership for the past year and some on the committee. And when I get those numbers again from USA with our
I'm
number.
trying to empty this refrigerator. What's
Thank you, Nakua. Can I ask everybody to mute themselves if they are not talking? Thank you, because it's overriding everybody here.
Sorry, I just wanted to finish up. As soon as I get those numbers digitally, I'll get those distributed and uploaded to the drive so that everybody can see that breakdown.
Perfect, Nakua. Appreciate that. It's always nice to see the numbers. I don't believe we have any elections pending, so nominating committee, I don't believe he has any report.
No, thank you.
And we will move on to rec hockey. Anything from rec hockey?
Steve, we are
Maybe chasing a chipmunk. But
Yes.
we are meeting with rec hockey here on Monday with our new staff and making a plan moving forward. Last year, Adam Herkus helped them a lot in their ice time scheduling and internet needs. So we're having a regroup here on Monday with our new office staff and the rec league, formulating a plan here for next year with them.
Perfect. Thank you, Jeremy. I think it was mentioned yesterday, the conversation about possibility of expanding rec hockey out beyond just the metro area into other parts of the state, that, you know, there is opportunity other places for rec hockey, and to look at that, back to changes and opportunities.
Yes. Having those discussions, and I think there's a big opportunity. I don't know if people saw, but Daha had sent out up in Duluth had sent out a survey to around to the people in the Duluth area if they would offer that, if the interest that is there. So we're closely looking at what's going on there and trying to work with them. Aku is well connected on that side, and I've had some conversations with people in some of the neighborhood programs with growing that area as well.
Awesome. Awesome.
Jeremy,
Thank you.
Clean, I have a question for you. Because I've got a couple people that have contacted me. Who registers the teams for the rec hockey?
Clean, I will answer that after our meeting tomorrow.
Oh, Okay.
That's my way of saying I don't know.
Thank you.
Rec hockey has their own. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's right, Steve. Brad here for District 6. Yeah, they had it set up that way. It was going through Minnesota Hockey through themselves.
Yeah. Okay, move to referees, Mr. Plackner.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a couple quick things here. Really, this gets to be a couple months of actually a little bit of downtime for the officiating side. Biggest thing now is this: we kind of watch and see how many registrations we have. As of yesterday, we had 299 officials registered in Minnesota. We wrapped up the MHOA officiating camps at St. Olaf and St. Thomas. Sounds like that all went well, with the exception of a little bit that we talked about yesterday with the AC issue at St. Thomas. But as Mac had said, that's going to be addressed. Just a reminder, our MHOA golf outing for scholarship support is Sunday, August 16th. Registration is open for that. It's a good time. So make sure, register if you want to go, and then also looking for whole sponsorships as usual. You can reach out to Mike Mann, myself, whatever else, we can get that situated. And then on another note, the North American Hockey League, if anybody knows Kendall Hanley, she is the officiating manager for the NAHL, and they are putting together an event, try refereeing or try officiating for free. That's going to be July 20th in Blaine. I don't have the times locked down yet, but more to come on that. There's some flyers and stuff that are going out. And just got to call out Danny and just thank her so much for all the support and help and just how quick she responded. And also to you too, Jeremy. I sent the email out. It was the very next day. I know Danny was working with Kendall and whatnot. So very impressed on the response and the support there. So huge thanks from MHOA, and I know a huge thanks from Kendall too. So she's very passionate about this, and I think it's a great deal. So any questions, I guess you can let me know, and that's the plan. Other than that, all is well right now in the referee world.
Thank you very much, Todd. We'll transfer this now to our Rules Committee Chairman for rules. Dan.
It says my sharing is not turned on.
Well, Jeremy, can you?
No, maybe it is not.
It's
Maybe
turned
it is
on now.
All right. Thanks, Jeremy.
There we go.
All right. We have a number of things from Rules Committee. First, we'll jump right into them. R1, this comes from Mike and the Safety Committee. There was an amendment yesterday at the committee. You'll see after the first word there, all squirt 10U and older players now are required to have a mouthpiece, which is securely attached to the player's helmet or face mask. This is being done for safety reasons and trying to keep them attached so that they're not picking them up on the rink. There was some discussion about enforcement, so it's part of the rules, so it'll be up to everybody to enforce it. So Rules is bringing forth R1, which is an amendment to Article 8 of the playing rules, paragraph K.
Rules Committee has placed rule change R1 on the floor for discussion and approval. It is on your screen presently, the wording in red, and change of the rules. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, this is Rick. I got one question on it. With the USA Hockey rule, it says it's all players 12 and under classification and older must wear a mouth guard. Why are we doing it for squirts? I mean, I look at our referees in District 8, and we'd rather see things more uniform with the USA Hockey rules than, because right now, we're trying to explain to these referees that you got USA Hockey rules, you got Minnesota Hockey rules, you got District 8 rules. And to me, I would tend to think that I think it would be easier if we follow more the USA Hockey rule, which basically says, like I say, 12 and under classification and older, plus USA Hockey does not talk about tethered mouth guards, that they just have to be colored. And I don't really see the big safety issue with it. I know back many years ago with the tethered mouth guards, the one thing that was nice was if a kid got knocked out or something, they could pull the mouth guard out by the tether. But other than that, our district doesn't feel that this rule is necessary. That's it.
Thank you, Rack. Any other discussion?
Mike Mannon here. Drac, just one thing. If you want to follow the USA hockey rules, we've got a number of Minnesota hockey rules that would have to change to get in accordance with that as well. So if we do one, we should probably look at the rest of them.
Yeah, and I know this one here is just adding another one in, and to me, if it's a safety issue, I think we would need to put in something that's a hard, fast penalty for not having tethered mouth guards instead of just a warning. If we're considering it that it's safety, to me, I think it's more of this rule seems like it's more for a benefit for the referees more than anything. I know our referee association doesn't want it. When we talked about it at the district level, our associations weren't in favor of it either. So just our position on District 8, that'll be a no.
Understood.
Steve, this is Brad from District 6. I think, again, I appreciate Rack. I love him dearly, but, this is going to be, we're going to have a agree to disagree. We fully support what the referees are doing, this rule change at District 6. We've had a great success with it, and I just think you need to see what the vote is.
Perfect. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask Carmen to call a roll vote, please. Through that at you, didn't I, Carmen?
1 second, I wasn't prepared for that. I apologize.
I know.
And we have some new members on now too. Okay, so Steve Olaheiser, or how do you want me to go district first?
You don't vote.
Yeah, oh good God. Okay, let's go to district directors. Egvet,
Yes.
Coltman,
Aye.
yes, Steenerson,
Yes.
Figman,
Yes.
Daughtry,
Yes.
Hewitt,
Yes.
Brackness,
No.
Nichols,
No.
Donovan. Oh,
Yes.
okay, hold on. I'm sorry, you guys. My internet just went out on me. Nichols wasn't. Oh, why is this doing this to me now?
That's right.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do something. Shit. Sorry, guys. Technology sucks.
Marcia Carroll?
Okay, Nichols said no. Lean said yes. Bryant,
Yes.
Stupar is not here. Bushy,
Yes.
Elliott is not here. Sainty,
Yes.
Zubik,
Yes.
Morris is not here. Swenson is not here. Hadfield,
Yes.
Blackner.
Yes.
I mean, I think it's I'll keep going, sorry. Wold,
Yes.
Gray,
No.
Hill,
Pete's not here.
not here, sorry, yeah. Blaisdell,
No.
and Strumka.
Yes.
I believe that carries.
Sounds like the count was in the positive and it passed. Carmen, am I correct? I believe so.
I'm sorry, I'm doing the math. My program screwed up on me here. Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
I also have to redo the math because we have two more members. present.
I believe this was a majority vote, so.
I thought, okay, so it was 16. So yes, that would have 16 were yeses.
Okay. Thank you. So that motion passes. We'll return to Dan.
Thank you. R2 is being presented to the board. This comes from district directors. There was a concern over some uniforms this year that did not have sufficiently contrasting numbers from the color of the uniform, which made it difficult to determine player numbers. So we're proposing there's a rule to propose a change to playing rules, Article 8. Paragraph S, to add language, all uniforms shall have numbers that contrast sufficiently with the color of the uniform to make the numbers easy to distinguish. District directors shall have the authority on uniform colors, and the district director's decision shall be final. Rules is putting forth R2 for the board's consideration.
The Rules Committee has brought forth rule change R2 regarding contrasting numbers and colors for uniforms and the approval of uniforms. Is there any discussion?
I would just clarify that sufficiently with color contrasting includes those that are colorblind.
We're back to that. Okay, thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, is there an objection to rule R2? Any objections to rule R2? Hearing no objections to rule change R2, that motion is passed.
Okay, rules is from district directors and RAC this spring. There was a proposed discussion of requiring player rosters to be approved prior to exhibition games. It was noted at the Rules Committee that there are some associations that have exhibition games for tryout purposes, and that they wouldn't have rosters prior to that time. So there was an exception added to the requirement of having rosters approved prior to exhibition games to exclude games conducted solely for tryout purposes. Rules is bringing forth a proposal to change the inside cover of the front page of the rule book regarding team rosters as indicated.
Rules Committee is bringing forth rule change R3, stipulating that rosters must be in place before the first league game exhibition, unless that exhibition game is for tryout purposes only or tournament game. Is there any discussion regarding rule change R3?
Yeah, this rack, I'm just wondering if that wording should say team rosters instead of player rosters because of the fact that it's, it's a team roster with players and coaches on it. So
Do you want to make a motion to make that adjustment,
Yeah,
an amendment to that?
I make a motion that we just change the wording to instead of player rosters, team rosters must be approved.
Is there a second to Rack's motion?
I'll second that.
Second.
Lane makes that second, makes the amendment to what is proposed to change it to team rosters must be approved before the first league game and exhibition game or tournament game. Is there any discussion on that proposed amendment?
I have a quick question if I could. This is
Yes.
Paul from D1.
Yes.
I've been trying to look here real quick. I should have looked yesterday. I apologize. Are we running into any like definitional issues between team roster and player roster when we do that? Like, is there a defined term, player roster, defined term, team roster, where we would have any problems between the USA hockey rule and the Minnesota hockey rule?
My interpretation would be team roster is a better terminology than player roster because the roster actually defines the team. it doesn't, player roster really doesn't exist because, you know, it doesn't be player. How does that define the team? It's the team roster is what we're talking about.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm actually not seeing the term player roster here anywhere. So that makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, and this is Dan. I would note that inside the front cover and as indicated in the report that the section is actually listed team roster and not player roster. So for consistency purposes, I think RAC's proposed amendment is spot on.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing no other discussion, is there any objection to the proposed amendment to amend this to team rosters must be approved? Any objection? There is no objection. The proposed amendment is approved. We are now reviewing and approving R3 change to team rosters must be approved to prior the first league exhibition game except for tryout purposes or tournament game. Is there any discussion on that? No discussion on that. Is there any objection to approving the revised proposed to team rosters must be approved for the first league game, exhibition game, except for tryout purposes or tournament game? Any objection? Hearing no objection, that rule has passed unanimously.
Okay, rules has put forth proposed change, another change to the inside cover of the front page of the rule book under team rosters. This comes from Gretchen regarding issues she had with teams that were moving players back and forth on their rosters after December 31st. So there's a proposed change to the language regarding no roster changes after December 31st to add additional language as follows. Teams that are not eligible for state tournaments may add players to their rosters after December 31st, but are not permitted to move players from one team to another after December 31st if they were rostered on another team prior to December 31st. So the intent here is to allow teams that are not eligible for state tournaments to add players at any point in time if they're new players, to encourage sign up of new players at any point in time during the season, but not to allow players that were previously rostered to move to other teams after December 31st.
Rules Committee has brought forth R4 as stipulated on the screen currently. If you have screen share, no roster changes after December 31st, except for approval of district director. Teams that are not eligible for state tournaments may add players to their rosters after December 31st, but are not permitted to move players from one team to another after December 31st. Is there any discussion regarding rule change R4?
This is clean. The only thing I would like to see in it is that only because I had to move a player. He had come in new, got put on the C team like he should have, and he was just blowing everybody apart. That D10 board met with the association and said, this kid needs to be moved up to one of your other teams. I would like to see it in there that the district director would have approval to make that adjustment.
Well, read the first sentence, Colleen. I think it's in there.
With exceptions approved by the district director.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion on R4?
Yeah, for what Colleen is saying though, but it says that no roster changes after December 31st and teams eligible for state tournaments with exceptions approved. I think Colleen is also talking about teams that are not state tournament, state tournament eligible, such as squirts, where, like she said, she had a player come in at the squirt level that got put on a C team, they moved them up. So really, I don't know if it should be all teams have to be approved by the district director instead of just state tournament bound teams. I think that's what Clean's asking about, because it doesn't really state that here that, that new players may be added, but it doesn't say anything about not state tournament bound teams.
Do you think we could add another line then below the red with exceptions approved by the district director? A second.
I think that's what Clean's asking about.
Yeah, mine's more the house teams. They're not state or tournament bound teams. The ones I've had to do it to.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm asking Dan, do you think we can add that? That should satisfy.
If what you're doing, if what you want is the district directors to have carte blanche, I think you just eliminate,
it's not carte blanche, it's to approve.
well,
player movement.
but for
That's
the
an
district
exception.
directors,
It's an exception.
don't we just eliminate in the first sentence, teams eligible for state tournaments? Because what you're asking for is
all
the
levels.
director to approve changes after December 31st. So no roster changes after December 31st with exceptions approved by district directors.
Makes sense to me, Dan.
Not eligible for state tournaments may add players, but are not permitted to move them. It still addresses Gretchen's concern, and it addresses Colleen's concern.
Correct.
I think it's perfect.
So we have an amendment then proposed by, I'm gonna say by Colleen, to change it to the verbiage as Dan had indicated. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Rack is seconded. Paul, do you have a comment?
I guess just a clarification question then. So hypothetical, a kid signs up on January 3rd, is placed on a C team, starts blowing them away. Then he wants to get moved to a tournament eligible team. This amendment would allow him, say he's placed on a B2 team. He then can be placed on an A team on January 28th.
As
I
the
would
proposed
assume this
amendment, I
rack,
believe that would be the truth. With the district
this
director's
rack, I would
approval.
assume, this rack, I would assume then that as long as the district director approves the move from B2 to A, that this rule would state that then.
Isn't that I guess I don't have a dog in this fight, but I guess my impression was that that's what part of what this rule was trying to prevent. That, okay, we're going to open up these rosters to let kids sign up at that point, but we don't want somebody to get a ringer at the last minute. I could be wrong about that.
Well, this rack, I'm tending to think that as district directors that basically after 12/31, unless if there's a good reason why a player is to be moved, I don't think we're just going to do it carte blanche. I know I'm not. My rosters are frozen, and they would have to have a good reason. And one of the reasons that I have done in the past is if it's a goalie and the A team only has one goalie and that goalie's done for the year, I'll allow that. But other than that, in District 8, my skaters are frozen basically for the season.
So rather than have a sort of a rule that could cover a director's behind, we're going to say we'll take the heat if something like that happens.
This is Gretchen. I would hope that the integrity of the rule would stay within, our kind of gentlewomen's agreement that we're not going to do something in that instance of moving a B2 kid to an A team on the 28th, so he can go into districts and regions.
No, and actually, when I moved both of them, the one was he moved in from out of state. He went on the C team, but the kid was scoring 5 or 6 goals a game. It wasn't benefiting him, and it wasn't benefiting the players he played against, because he just went end to end, and nobody else was getting involved in anything. So we sat down and we moved him up to the B2 level after discussion with the district and the association. I just don't go ahead on my own and say, oh, we're going to move them. I have the discussions with the people involved and want their opinions also. So we moved them. Another one is I moved a whole team from the A down to a B1 because after 6 games, they were outshot 90-2. The kids were totally in the wrong place, and we need to benefit. My opinion is we need to benefit and make sure we try to get players playing at the level that they belong at.
This is Brad, District 6. Yeah, I think I agree with what all the directors said there, Paul, is that you leave it to the directors to place the person or the team to the right level and change for the benefit of all the membership. And they know their district, and I trust my directors, that fellow directors.
But if we have a player that's kind of a ringer, don't we know that before December 31st?
No, you don't all the time. Not 100%.
So this is all addressing players that move into the state of Minnesota or move from one district to another district where there's an unknown quality, unknown skill level. But our rules stipulate that player needs to be placed on the lowest after December 31st, the lowest roster, the lowest skilled team. And now this will allow the director, if they discover that player is highly skilled and shouldn't be on that lower level team, to be able to move that player to a team that is more accommodating and more right for the skill level of the player, which I agree with everybody that's been talking, benefits all the players, benefits the player, because now this player is not dominating a game at a skill level he shouldn't be at, or she shouldn't be at. Excuse me, I keep saying in the male side of it, but it's he or she should not be at. It's a very simple process. We're beating it to death. I think we need to move on and have a vote.
Yeah, one more thing is Rack. One more thing on that too is last winter we had a player that moved from Egan down to Owatonna. He was on an Egan Pee Wee Double A team, and between District 9 and Owatonna, we ended up putting him on an A team down there instead of a C team. So I think that that we have to look at the player when they come in, and hopefully he gets put on the right level team. Like Colleen says, that they put him on a C team and he didn't belong there. So I'm in favor of this rule, with the changes or whatever. So.
And this is Paul. It reads, or Ole, I agree with you. To me, it reads clear enough, anyways, for me, anyways, to understand what the point of the rule is in the addition of that rule.
Right. Any other discussion, or I'll call for a vote, and I'll ask Carmen to call a roll call vote.
I think,
Carmen, I'm going to throw that one back at you.
Steve,
Dan.
point of order. We're voting on the amendment to the proposal first, I think.
Yeah, the amendment to the proposal, which, can you state that kind of in your language again?
The amendment to the proposal is to delete the words in the first sentence, 2 teams eligible for state tournaments. So the rule would read, no roster changes after December 31st with exceptions approved by the district director.
Does all the rest of the red stuff stay there?
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Okay, are you ready?
Ready, Carmen.
Okay, Agvet?
Yes.
Holtman?
Yes.
Steenerson,
Yes.
Pigman,
Yes.
Gotry,
Yes.
Hewitt,
Yes.
Brackness,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Donovan,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Bushy, Danny Bushy. Denny's golfing. Okay.
Yeah.
Sainty. Okay, Denny says yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Sainty,
Sorry.
Yes.
Zubik,
Yes.
Hadfield,
Yes.
Blackner,
Yes.
Wold, Nate Wold. Okay. Gray,
Yes.
Blaisdell,
Yes.
Strumka.
Yes.
Is Nate back on? That gives us 16 yeses.
Yeah. The motion passed to amend the language that was proposed by the Rules Committee. Now we have on the floor for approval the amended language that we just approved. Is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, is there any objection to the rule as proposed and amended by the pass vote? Hearing no objection, the motion is passed. Thank you.
Okay, Rules is proposing a change that comes from Dave Margano to Article 6, Team Competition under our youth rules. This is in my opinion, administrative change to coincide or sync up our rule to be consistent with the USA Hockey current team composition rules. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's there. It's been submitted. There wasn't much discussion on this at the committee meeting yesterday, but our rules is putting forth R5.
Rules has brought forth R5 change as shown on your screen. All the first part of number A will be, all the cross out will be eliminated and will be replaced by the new language underneath it. Is there any discussion? No discussion. Is there any objection to rule change R5 as proposed by the Rules Committee? Hearing no objection, rule change R5 is approved.
Rules is putting forth R6. We had a discussion at the spring meeting. We had some duplicative language in our rules under youth rules, Article 11, invitational tournament sanctioning. There was some language about invitational tournaments and other kind of exempt events. We're proposing to eliminate paragraph B, which is duplicative of language in article and paragraph D, and adding to paragraph D some language from the eliminated paragraph B. Any events involving 3 or more teams, excluding regularly scheduled league games, is considered an invitational tournament and is subject to all invitational tournament rules unless the event meets the requirements of paragraph 3 below. And paragraph 3 discusses special events, round robins, jamborees, events that are not your typical elimination, crown a champion kind of invitational tournament. So Rules is putting forth proposed R6 to kind of clean up Article 11 under invitational tournament sanctioning.
Rules Committee has brought forth R7 and place it on the floor for consideration. Mostly a housekeeping situation, cleaning up our rules and making them flow better, as stipulated by the information on your screen. Is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, is there any objection to the passage of R7 as presented by the Rules Committee?
It's R6.
R6, excuse me, R6. You moved it off my screen so I couldn't see it.
Sorry.
Hearing no objection, R6 is passed and approved.
All right, last one, R7. This is coming from Jeremy, our executive director, regarding Squirt 10U net size. We're proposing, or there's a proposal to add paragraph 5, effective September 1st, 2027, 54 by 36 inch nets or intermediate 42 by 36 inch nets must be used for all Squirt 10U games and practices. Effective September 1st, 2029, the net size must be 54 by 36 inches for all Squirt 10U practices and competition. Our rules is putting forth R7, which is a change to Article 7, levels of play in our youth rules to add that paragraph.
Rules placed R7 on the floor for consideration by the board. Inserting the number 5 in red on your screen, effective September 1st, 2027, 54 by 36 or intermediate nets must be used for all Squirt 10U and games and practices effective September 1, 2029. The net size must be 54-36 for all Squirt 10U and competition practices and competitions. Is there any discussion on rule change R7? Hearing no discussion, is there any objection to approval of rule change R7? Hearing no objection, rule change R7 is approved.
That's it from rules.
Thank you much, Dan. We will move on to the Safety Committee. Mr. Mannon?
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Not a lot going on for Minnesota right now. Just I am going to be working on a flyer with some QR codes for concussion reporting. So Danny, I'll probably be reaching out to you for some help on that. And then I want to come up with a report for some type of report for serious injuries. The only way USA Hockey knows about that is if there's insurance claims filed. So we feel that if we can get in front of that, some more information might be helpful. And that's all I have on that.
Thank you, Mike. Scholarships, anything for scholarships, Colleen?
So far we've Steve informed me that 5 out of the 10 have received their scholarships and just waiting on the rest of them to send their school information in, because the payments, the scholarships go directly to the school and not the award winner.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you. Safe Sport and screening. Mr. Gray, do you have anything on Safe Sport for us?
Just briefly, this was, I believe, the first season that we didn't lead the country in Safe Sport reports.
Oh,
although that's good, but yet the differences aren't dramatic. Like we had 133, Michigan led the country with 139, so it's all pretty close. New York had 133 as well, so no big deal there. What I'm predicting is good news is the increase in Safe Sport reports was far less than it's been year to year. They only went up about 50 this season when it had been like hundreds in the past. So that's a good thing. I think it's kind of topping off. USA Hockey across all 35 affiliates had 1,608 Safe Sport reports. And then for my affiliates that I work for, I did 904 of those 1,608. That's it. Unless anybody has any questions.
This is Rack. I got, I know I talked about it. This new USA Hockey member program agreement. I know I've already sent it out to my presidents and I've gotten some of them back already. Now, is this something that we're going to have to do every year? Or I think it's said in it that it's up to the affiliate on what they want to do as far as how often they want to have it redone or re-signed. So I need to know, what our plan is for having it done, whether it's every year or every other year. And then also too, it says that, it stays in the affiliate. Does that mean that when my presidents send it back to me, do I just keep it, or do we have to send it to Minnesota Hockey, or can it just be kept at the district level? So I'd like to get some information as far as, how we're going to handle this.
Well, as we sit right this minute, I have no clue, but I'll find out what they want. If we can do it.
I don't know that I have any clue on that either, Scott. We'll have to find out. Correct.
But the information that came from USA Hockey said that is up to the affiliate to decide on how they want to handle it.
Well, in first glance, at first thought, I think we need to do it every year, because there's always changes on board of directors and in associations and or districts and or here.
Okay, and then
elections every year.
Then when I get them from my association, should I just keep them, or should they be forwarded to Minnesota Hockey?
I believe we'll have to have them forwarded to Minnesota Hockey. It should go to Jeremy to be put on file.
Okay, so then it'd be put in file with their affiliate agreement then, kept in a file like that?
Yep.
Okay.
Should be part of the same process as signing an affiliate agreement and put it in with their stuff too.
All right, then I'll forward the ones that I've got so far then here tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Hey, Scott, Mike Bannon here. Just real quick on those numbers, are those legit reports or frivolous ones as well?
I would confidently guess. Well, legitimate state. So your questions, are they legitimate reports? Most of them are legitimate reports about something, but they're not Safe Sport reports. Right. The vast, I would say easily 90%, if not more, aren't Safe Sport related. Oh. Safe Sport's become a grievance hotline because when you file a Safe Sport report, someone gets back to you. So parents like that, and then they use it for any kind of grievance that they come up with. The most common Safe Sport report across all the affiliates that, the whole country that I work for, the most common report is something that occurred during a game. Like in the game last night, my son was checked from behind or boarded or whatever, and the referee didn't call penalty. And the problem that I've kind of identified is that I believe now Safe Sport is not a good term to use. And I'll give you an example. A lady in New York filed a Safe Sport report alleging that the parking lot at their arena is unsafe because she twisted her ankle in a pothole. Now, you kind of chuckle at that, like this is a Safe Sport issue, but in her mind, it's a safety issue. So their reports come in that there's a loose plane of glass in an arena in Missouri that is dangerous. Things like that. They just report everything. And it is, so, like my example, the common ones, checking from behind or boarding or whatever, that's a safety issue, no question about it, but that's something governed by the rules of play, not Safe Sport. So I'm soccer, for example, I do a lot of work for soccer. They call it safeguarding. They've abandoned the term Safe Sport. They use safeguarding. I'm not suggesting that I try to convince USA Hockey to change the name. But at the end of the day, everybody views any safety issue as a safe sport matter and reports it. And that's what generates these giant numbers. But at the end of the day, easily 90, if not 95% of them aren't really safe sport issues.
Right.
Thank you.
Yep.
And Scott, that's why, USA Hockey's introducing a triage type system to examine these and get them transferred to the right places rather than hang them up like they are.
Well,
Sending
then
them to you to evaluate.
the question is going to be, I mean, so when they put in the case management system, this eyesight, which is the same system that the Center for Safe Sport uses, they tried to cheese out on the expense. And there was a lady from South Carolina that was a coding person, a programmer. And she said, well, I can do all that for you. You don't have to pay them. So this thing was like $250,000 that they shelled out. And then we're going to save a couple $100,000 by having her do the coding. Well, she worked on that for half a year and screwed it all up. And then she quit. And then they had to go hire the eyesight to fix it anyway. So it still costs just as much. So all that money went into that system. Now we're bringing in this new system, which won't communicate with the old system. So then what they're talking about is this new system offers a case management system as well, similar to what we already have, that would integrate with the reporting system. But that's another hundreds of thousands. You know what I mean? It's just the money's going out the window. And at the end of the day, so much of this is just silly. And the idea with this new system is it's going to sort better. It's going to ask better questions that the people have to answer and then sort what's being reported and then send it appropriately. But I just don't have a lot of hope that that's going to work right, because the current system has right on there, if you're reporting, when you're filing a report, says right on there, if this is a complaint about a referee situation during a game, don't file this here. Talk to your local organization. And they do it anyway. Hundreds of them. Just skip right over that. Don't pay any attention. So we'll see how this works. But I don't have high hopes. So anyway. But Steve's right. They're going to try to, it should narrow the number of reports down, I would think. How well, I don't know.
Yep. Thanks, Scott.
Yep.
Tournaments, Mr. Dragich.
Yeah, thank you.
There you are.
Yep. Just a little slow on the unmute button. Again, our report is in the Dropbox. Just to touch on a couple of things. Going forward in this year with invitational tournament applications, safe sport fees are included in that and will be paid during the application process. They're set at $9 for affiliates and $10 for non-affiliates. Reminder to district directors to please make sure to send host locations for all region and state tournaments to Danny at the Minnesota Hockey office. We want to make sure we're ahead of the game this year. So please send all host locations to Danny. In return, the host agreement will go out and we want to get all those returned and taken care of in a more timely manner this year. For all district tournaments, we're asking that everybody follows the penalty time limit that is set up through the Minnesota Hockey Handbook. This past year, there were some districts that maybe went with 2-minute penalties for all levels. And there's some confusion as people are calling and asking, what is this penalty supposed to be, 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes? Maybe calling a referee from another district and asking. So we're asking that all districts follow the penalty rules as set up in the rules for district tournaments. Then the committee would also like to bring to the board of directors an idea to adopt a seeding process for the 2026-27 Bantam AA and Pee Wee AA state tournaments. With that plan, we'd have head coaches of the 8 qualifying teams submit seeds by email, seeding teams 1 through 7, and not seeding their own team. Seeds would be emailed to the Minnesota Hockey Office by 8 a.m. following the completion of the regional tournaments, which in 2027 would be Monday, March 8th. Any ties in the seeding process will be reviewed and decided by the vice presidents and the Minnesota Hockey Executive Director. This would be a 1-year pilot program and be reviewed at our board meeting next spring.
The tournament committee has brought forth a motion for a pilot program for seeding to Pee Wees and Bantam AA state tournaments, whereby the head coaches of respective teams that have entered into the state tournament at their levels are ranking the teams, the fellow teams that are in the tournament, and sending that information in the Monday after the district, or after the region tournaments, after the region tournaments to the Minnesota State office. And this is evaluated and will be ranked by the 2 vice presidents and the executive director proceeding into the state tournaments at Pee Wee and Bantam AA. Is there any discussion?
Hey, Ole, this is Paul. I just have a quick question. Hey, Mark, did we look at 15s at all or no?
We talked about it some, but decided just the 2 levels for this year, just to see how it works.
Okay, I'm fine with that. I was just curious. Thank you.
And just to clarify, this is a pilot program that will be evaluated at the conclusion of the state tournament by the tournament committee and the board of directors. Hearing no other discussion, is there any objection to the proposed motion on the floor regarding pilot program for Bantam and Pee Wee AA state tournament? Lena, you're sitting someplace that's just too beautiful. Hearing no objection, I'll say that this motion has been passed.
I'm on an island in the Caribbean right now.
Looks like you're on a cruise ship.
I am, yes. So my kids went to the island and I'm finishing this up and then I will be joining them.
Yeah, good job. Mark, anything else for tournaments?
Just a couple of quick notes. First, I would reiterate Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. And then also, it wasn't the Minnesota Wild winning a Stanley Cup this year, but there were 3 Minnesotans that reached that ultimate goal. So I would congratulate those associations and districts that help those players along. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you much, Mark. Yes, we do contribute to the Stanley Cup, the NHL, and the Olympics. That concludes all committee reports. We can go into USA Hockey reports unless somebody would like to take a little bit of a break. Hearing not, I will start my report. As you can imagine, USA Hockey was all over and very excited about the fact that they had 3 Olympic gold medals. There was big celebrations and everything else. So I want to say I was lucky enough to actually hold a gold medal and stand with a couple of gold medal Olympians. It was an awesome event. I attended the youth council meetings, and the biggest discussion has been and will be for a while the DL programs, and that the DL application process has started and is opened. It will be closing, I believe, at the end of June here, and there'll be further evaluations of those applications and process whereby programs will be awarded, membership or designation as a development league program. That's still ongoing, and it'll be interesting to see how that all transpires and how that all comes out. I commend the group that's here in Minnesota trying to put together an option for our Minnesota players to keep the players here in Minnesota and keep things going there. The board had to consider a change or an amendment to a rule passed. The rule was passed in January and then was immediately amended in February by the board of directors. So it was placed on the floor for ratification by the full Congress. And rather than ratify it, the Congress changed some language and postponed the implementation of the rule until the following season, which would be the 27-28 season, to give time to those involved to be able to review it and try to propose better language to adjust what was objectionable about it. Other than that, I don't have very much else to report, and I will go to Mr. Reed for his report.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Yeah, it was a lot of excitement out there with USA Hockey with the Triple Crown. Great event. A lot of, one of the things that was really brought out is the age of a lot of the Olympians, and kind of coinciding with the implementation of the ADM model. So that's where, like I mentioned yesterday, there's been a lot of refocusing on ADM, returning to ADM coordinators and the USA Hockey affiliates, and even expanding it to get that re-emphasis on the ADM just as an 8U. It's a whole ladder of development as players increase in age. National Appeals Committee, we didn't have a lot there. We do have a new vice president of legal at USA Hockey, and Caitlin Cahow. She's becoming in also as a new chair of the National Appeals Committee. She was an athlete representative that was elected. Player Development Committee, we the timeline of the DL was discussed, and the applications that were being taken to the end of June when we were out in Denver. To date, they had 41 applications received, but they're taking those till June 30th. And then we had some conversation on the national camp progresses and plannings and who completed, what affiliates completed their processes. And us and Mid-Am are the last ones to do our processes, and a lot of it has on the way we hold our summer camps, development camps for the players, more than just bringing them together for a weekend. And then we had some discussion on, if everybody knows, Duluth is going to be hosting the 18 and under World Championships at Amsoil in Duluth, April 21st to May 2nd. Be working on some events in conjunction with USA Hockey and planning some clinics for players and coaches in conjunction with that event. And we'll have a more local focus on growing the game in that Duluth area while that event takes place. So that's all I have to report.
Thank you, Jeremy. Mr. Kapinski.
Thank you, Ole. I'll be quick. I have my reports in the Dropbox as well. I attended the Playing Rules Committee, of which I'm a voting member of. Not a whole hell of a lot going on there. You can read that in the report. Also attended the Finance and Investment Committee. Not a whole hell of a lot to report out of that too. USA Hockey's making fine money. They're fine there. There's other committees I attended as well. You can see that in the report. For brevity's sake too, for what it's worth, I also requested and made it well known to USA Hockey that I'd like to be put on the Finance Committee as well next year to make sure that Minnesota has representation on that as well. So that's all I got.
Thanks, Steve. Mr. Steenerson.
Yeah, and again, for me, this is my second one, and I did get a notice after the meeting to go ahead and sign up for some committees. So I'm hopeful that I'll be placed on a committee in time for our next January meeting anyways. But what I was appreciative of is the celebrations that they had for some of the Minnesotans that were in present, like Zamplant was there. And I think that Tile, he's another Minnesota, he's a goalie from, I think, Chaskatchan, I believe, or somewhere out that way. So it's just nice to see them get recognized too. Some of our own board members were recognized for their service too, so it's much appreciated through USA Hockey. And I think that, from a Minnesota perspective, I will say that everything that I have seen and witnessed in my last two meetings, anyways, that Minnesota is very well thought of. I think that the leadership of Minnesota Hockey does push kind of the others within USA Hockey and kind of challenges and says, you know what, hey, our model works for us. Let's not have to change it compared to some of the other Eastern models, anyways, of hockey. So I'm very appreciative of our model of hockey. I know that there's been a lot of publicity around a corporation called Black Bear, who is purchasing many arenas out east. And I think some of the influence may be spreading to other communities, as in New York and things of that nature, where their influence may be more powerful. So I think, from a Minnesota hockey perspective, with our leadership to push and keep those entities out of Minnesota hockey, I think is very prevalent and well known that we don't want them here. So I think that that we do a good job keeping our community-based hockey that we have and our model well known that it works, and others would try to like to emulate that, but cannot. I think some of the other things that I saw that were interesting too is the expansion of some of these hockey, like the Null hockey going out west. I think that was interesting that they're expanding. And, what will that do to, for instance, Minnesota hockey? Is it going to dilute our playing that we have? Is it going to dilute the high school with the national teams too, the development league? How does that change and what does that look like for the future? And I think that 29 and 30 season, once the development league and some of these other null teams are up and running, I think we'll see maybe a decreasing amount of quality of players, maybe that hopefully will stay in the state, but could be leaving, and depending upon what happens with this NCAA rule passing too, as far as the 5-year limit. So we'll see what happens there. But again, I'm looking forward to being on a committee. I'll put my selections in, and then we'll go from there. So I think it's a very informative meeting. So thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Dave Margino. Marky, you
Yeah,
have
thank
any
you.
report?
Yeah, AI, there's one in the Dropbox for your edification and reading. But a couple highlights. I'm on the marketing committee, and they handle events and other things. But as Jeremy reported, Duluth will be hosting the 18U Men's World Championship next April. Partnership. This is kind of good news. Their partnership has grown. Revenue by 38% up to almost $4 million, which is 5% of the USA Hockey funding. Illinois was extended a pilot they had to use the 2 referee, 1 linesman refereeing system. They had done 500, almost 600 high school games last year. Had data that showed, in fact, the compared to the 2-2, there was not much difference. And USA Hockey grant has increased, not USA Hockey, excuse me, NHL grant to USA Hockey has increased to $12.5 million. That's, for some of those that remember, it was like in the $5 million range not too many years ago. So that's my report. You can read the rest in the Dropbox. Thank you.
Thanks, David. Next up, Cheryl. Cheryl, do you have anything from your side of the thing?
No, just the meeting was fun watching them celebrate all the gold medals, and I thought that was great. And then came home to run 15 camp, which went great, the development camp, and I think we sent 38 or 39 young ladies to national camp from there. Other than that, I don't have much.
Okay, thank you, Cheryl. Becky Ewing, on the registration side, is there any information or excitement?
So we had a couple of exciting updates to the registry portal for this year. That'll be a little bit quicker. The new one will launch next year. If you could remind, it has been updated now for the level 4 and 5 coaches for this next season that did not complete their continuing ed. They will be grayed out, will not be able to be added to a roster until they've completed their continuing ed. You guys had started talking, I believe, about the safe sport agreement. I think RAC brought it up. That was discussed at our registrar meeting. I was going to send that out tomorrow to the district directors to have them disseminate that out and get it signed, as the portal to each association will not be released until that association has returned that signed safe sport agreement. I do have it. USA Hockey sent it out, I don't know, 6 weeks ago, and said to start getting it signed. So you guys can decide, but if Jeremy just gets me the list of people as they get them in, then their access will be granted. The portal will be available after July 13th for them.
So that's a big thing. They won't have access to the registration portal through USA Hockey to create rosters and teams unless they have completed that.
Until they've signed the safe
information.
sport agreement, yes. So initially
So-
I was gonna send it out, but I'm happy to have you guys track all of that. That'll save me a lot of time.
Well, it would be good to make sure that it comes from the registration people too, the registrars of the districts.
Yeah.
And the local association registrars, because that's a big thing.
So
All of a
Steve,
sudden, association says, okay, we're gonna start rostering our players, and well, wait a minute, where's our portal? We can't do this. We can't claim
Yeah,
our players. We can't do anything, and
yep. So Steve,
It's
Brad,
just sort of
District
a-
6, Brad over here, District 6, getting ready for the president's meeting. Where is this document? Who's going to send it out? Because I need it quick.
I can send it out to you in just a couple minutes, Brad, if you'd like.
Perfect. Yeah, let's do that. Send it to me, and then I can have it all set ready at the president's meeting so that they can get this off. Because this is, like Steve and you said, this is important.
Yes, and in District 10, I'm gonna send it, I'm sending it to the presidents via DocuSign. So then they don't even have to necessarily worry about trying to get it signed themselves. So if anybody, I don't want to step on toes for what anybody at Minnesota Hockey wants to do, but if anybody wants it sent that way, you guys can let me know.
I think we just need to make sure, I think Becky, if you would send it all to all district directors, to Nick Hatfield, everybody that needs rosters and needs portals for USA Hockey, sooner than later, that would be great. I don't want to throw a lot of things on you, but yeah, we need to get that out there.
I can have it out within by about 11 o'clock. I can have it to everybody this morning.
Thanks, Becky.
Yep.
And Becky,
Thank you very
Becky,
much.
Becky,
Yeah.
did you just say that you can send that out to everybody via DocuSign?
Well, I can send it via DocuSign. So if you have associations where they need it that way, we would send it directly to that president. I could also include you guys as district directors in that trail, so you see that they signed it, but that's up to you guys. If district directors want to track who's turning it in, that's kind of up to you guys. And I can also connect with Jeremy and Steve if you guys want to see if there's a better way to collect those back and get the data back, because I'd like to get to USA Hockey as soon as possible when they do get it in, so that their access is released as soon as it can be.
It seems like DocuSign would be the cleanest way to do it if everyone could do it that way.
Yeah, but not all the times that works. So
Right.
I work with it all the time. So I just send me the form and I'll get it done.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Brad, because one thing about that too is that besides being signed by the association, it's also got to be acknowledged and received and signed by the affiliate too. So I don't know if DocuSign will work for everybody.
Well, it'll be coming out.
Thank you.
Thank you, Becky. Mr. Hatfield.
Hello, everyone. Denver was a good time. For us, it's a really important time to
network with what's going on across the country. Like I said earlier in my other report, we're about a third of the country percentage wise. Especially our Warriors and special hockey are almost more than double some of the numbers in the other districts. So it's very humbling to be in the position where we can be leaders and people look to us for advice. I think what's really exciting is that we're being approached pretty consistently to host national events coming up in the next couple years. So we're working on some long-term plans of how that looks. We've also, been looked at as looking into doing some pilots, which we did this year, but we're going to continue that on into the disabled section at Classics and Nationals, where we have a hybrid model for our level up coaching clinics and disabled modules. So it's pretty exciting. It's also great to see the celebration of the trifecta of women's, men's, and para in sled hockey in our championship. So just really exciting to see everyone come together, and it was a good time. Yeah, so just looking forward to continuing on with my role, and we have some exciting things coming up in the fall that'll with our program. So I'm just excited to continue on with it.
Thank you very much, Nick. Next up, Mr. Mannon.
Thanks, Steve. Yeah, I'll mimic everyone else. The festivities were a nice thing for the 3 gold medals, and everyone was pretty happy, in a good mood. But on the safety side, we've been talking a lot about mental health and info that we can share there, which we'll be getting on our website. Danny and Jeremy are working hard to straighten some things out with the safety part of the website, where we have information in multiple areas, and we're gonna concentrate it to one spot so it's easier to find. We'll be having I think a video from some NHL concussion education coming out soon, and then a lot of talk about AEDs and stop the bleed kits, and trying to determine if most or all arenas have them around the country. So I'll probably be reaching out to RAC a little bit there to get some contact information, just to see if we can get some numbers on our arenas that have AEDs and stop the bleed kits. Otherwise, yeah, it was a nice meeting out there. I'm learning a lot. I'm dealing with a lot of doctors and the such, which I am not, of course, but they're teaching me a lot. Having a good time. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Travis, I see you're here.
Yes, thank you. So I attended the annual meeting in June in Denver, and one of the bigger things we go over is we go over all the claims that USA Hockey has. And the main note we noticed is that the participant accident claims dollars paid is higher than most years. And the claims count is not necessarily up. So Kelly, the head of our committee, is looking into try and find out why that is. Our claims costs going up at hospitals and clinics. Are we too far behind on when USA Hockey gets involved with a claim? The person goes in and pays a bill before it gets reported to USA Hockey, and therefore the AG administrators cannot get the bill reduced type situation. Do we need to, how can we get more involved quicker with that claim as the secondary provider? But if you don't know, USA Hockey self-insures the first 50,000 of every participant accident claim. So it's something that they may have to dig into HARP to pay for. HARP is the self-insured group that USA Hockey has, but they may need to take a little money out of that to pay for some of these claims for last year. So hopefully she'll find out some data and we can come up with some solutions when she does. But other than that, report is submitted.
Okay, thank you, Travis. Mr. Paul, you have your hand up, I see.
Thank you. Real briefly, Travis, is there, and Mr. Mannon as well, is there a like a liaison between the safety committee and risk analysis? For example, with respect to how much is being paid out, are those claims related to a particular safety issue that can be addressed there? How does that work?
I don't know that there is between Mike's group and our group. Kelly, the head of our group's involved with a lot, and then Casey is also involved with most of the claims and safety and everything. So, I mean, they kind of know everything that's going on between the two groups, but
Yeah, Travis, Mike here. Yeah. Our committee chair, Kevin Margarucci, and Travis's people, that they do talk to each other, and we have seen those numbers in the past. Yes. So there is communication there.
Thank you. Speaking of awards that were given out, there was a big one given out, and I'll let, I think, Mr. Plackner, would you kind of address that? It was given to one of our referees here in Minnesota.
Yes, sir. It was to the great honor of Mark Verplatzi. He got the award out at Colorado. Very excited. Unfortunately, I couldn't be out there to see him. I just talked to him yesterday, actually last night and whatever, and just had a follow-up conversation with him, whatever. He was very excited. For those of you that really don't know Mark or whatever else, he is honestly the backbone to all of our refereeing seminars and whatnot, everything that gets put together. And I know USA Hockey relies on him greatly too, to get all this stuff put together. And then he comes up between, Mark Verplatzi and Steve Tatro. They go through and get all of these things scheduled, get it organized so we can go through and try to get our 3,400 registered officials through these virtual seminars each and every year. So, and Mark's not a spring chicken anymore. He's 73 years old, but he's still got the energy of somebody that's probably in their 30s, which is absolutely amazing. So if you happen to see him or whatnot, and whether you like referees, just thank him, because he puts a great amount of effort into everything that he does, and he has a very, very high standard of what he does. He strives for perfection all the time, and really at this point we couldn't do it without Mark. So a great honor to him. I know he was very excited. We were all excited for him. So I don't, Mike, Madden, anything that you'd like to add since you're tucked in as well?
Yeah, thanks, Todd. It was a Chet Stewart Award, which goes out to an official that dedicates time and whatnot to our task. But I think he's the sixth one from Minnesota now, so we're pretty well represented in that area, and it's a very good honor.
It was very awesome to see him get that award, and all the people that from Minnesota. It was quite the thing to see all the people from Minnesota that got awards, got service awards, that have been here for a long time, serving on the board of directors or serving in Congress. So it was quite amazing to see all that. I know Rack was up for 30-year award. Unfortunately, Rack couldn't make it. So a lot of years of service, and that's pretty awesome. So, okay, any other USA Hockey reports? I think I got everybody. Then we'll move on to new business. We have to approve the high school and Tier 2 USA Hockey Nationals teams eligibility. Mr. Margino, would you like to address that?
I will. I can probably read it off faster than I can figure out how to upload it onto the screen. But the board is required to certify those teams for high school and Tier 2 that are advancing from Minnesota. So for high school, we have on the boys' side, we don't have a junior gold this year because it conflicts with our Minnesota state tournament same weekend. But we do have Shattuck St. Mary's, which is a 3A division. On the girls' side, we'll have two teams advance. Premier Prep will play off against the HP 19s to have the 1A division. Shattuck St. Mary's will be advancing to the 2A. On the Tier 2 side, on the Youth 14, the HP 14U Prospect Tier 2. 16U is the Prospect Tier 2. 18U is our Tier 2 league. And on the girls' side, where we have 2 teams advancing, we have the HP 14 Tier 2. Girls 16U, 2 teams advancing, will have a playoff between Premier Prep and the HP 16 Prospect. And on the 19, where we have 2 teams advancing, Premier Prep 19U and HP 19. So the board needs to approve these, certify these as national championship advancing teams.
Tier 1 committee has brought forth the request for the board to approve our team eligibility for high school and Tier 2 USA Hockey Nationals, as David has provided and is in the Dropbox. Is there any discussion? Just a quick question, Dave. Is there a high school girls?
Yeah, yes,
national?
high school girls, we have Premier Prep playing our 19 prospects for 1 level, 1A, and then 2A level Shattuck St. Mary's advances.
Okay, because I was just worried about our new junior gold 19U high school league. How would they fit in there at all?
Great question. I guess if they think they're ready to take on the HP 19 prospect, we could add them. I don't know. That's up to Colleen.
Them. Yeah. So that's something we could discuss at another time. But just a thought came into my head on that.
No, excellent question. Yep.
Any other discussion?
In fact, thinking about this year, they'd have the same conflict that the
Yeah,
USA
I knew
hockey
that.
conflict. Yeah, right.
Right. No discussion. Is there any objection to the proposed eligibility for high school and Tier 2 USA Hockey Nationals as presented by the Tier 1 committee? Hearing none. Those proposals are approved, Dave.
Thank you, sir.
Notified. Thank you. In looking at our agenda, I don't see any other business for the board to consider today. I believe that we're wrapped it all up. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Steve,
Yes.
just we'll be reaching out to all the districts on the golf tournament, and if you haven't signed up, get signed up. Should be a fun event. We got a lot of good things going on August 3rd at Bunker Hills.
Perfect.
I move we adjourn, Steve Brad.
Brad makes a motion to adjourn. Is there any objection to adjourning this meeting? Hearing none, we are adjourned.
Happy Father's Day, everybody. Thank you.
Enjoy the day.
Thank you.